It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
And welcome to It's Bourbon Night Live, Sunday night, loving the summer hours.
Yes.
I think you guys are too. We've been getting a lot of comments about...
Yeah, I think we have to decide when that changes back.
Or does it?
Well, I think it has to because of football.
Football.
I don't want to make people choose between me and football.
Football.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Football. The sports, Chad.
Sports, Chad.
Sports, Chad.
I mean, drinking bourbon's a sport sometimes. It's a sport of kings.
This weekend it was a sport. My goodness, it was all about pacing yourself. I feel like we had multiple, innings.
Yeah.
What else do you call them? Halves, quarters, I don't know. No, I mean, seriously, I feel like we've been going all weekend, and it's been great. And now here we are.
Here we are. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see if we can get a count here. If we flip over here.
No.
Daggone it.
They'll tell us. They'll tell us how many.
Let's just hit refresh.
Okay.
We'll see.
How's this?
Not on the live.
Refreshing, entertaining.
It's not. Going. But now I lost the chat window.
Yes, you
really
did all the things.
I got it. 101 watching. Welcome,
101.
101. You're a great proof.
Yes.
So what's on the docket for today?
Well, I want to talk about, we were at Bourbon Women on Saturday, so we want to talk about that. We were
sip-posium.
I'm sorry. Yes, Saturday morning. Saturday evening, we were in Frankfort at Bourbon on the Banks, the first annual. That was very cool. And now here we sit. So Perry will be on with us in a little bit to chat about Bourbon on the Banks.
Yes.
But first, let's talk about the sip-posium, and let's have a pour.
Let's do it.
Some people are asking, they're being very observant and saying that we are in the wedding countdown, which is true. We're like 3 weeks away.
We are. So what we're actually going to do is, right off the bat, we're going to do an uncorking, a live uncorking. This is something rather special that we wouldn't do on a normal uncorking because it would seem kind of mean because like no one can get a bottle. This is Uncle Near's 1820, different year than the other one that's out there, which I can't recall at the moment.
I was like, oh, how very vague of you.
Yeah. But this is a single barrel. And I think I remember the requirements. They basically said, Fawn Weaver spoke at the Bourbon Women Sip-osium.
Such a great speaker.
Yeah. And she was saying...
Really knows how to get a crowd going.
Totally. She was saying to be considered for a single barrel, one, it has to be over 108 proof. I think they go in the barrel at either 105, 110, I can't remember. So only a few barrels, I think she said 1% of all their barrels can be considered to be a single barrel.
Right.
And then of those, there was 4. And of those 4, I think only 1 or 2 barrels passed the mustard.
I don't know. Past the mustard? Cut the mustard?
Cut the mustard. Whatever. Pass the mustard. Pass the mustard?
I don't think so. I think it's
Would
cut the mustard.
you please pass the jelly? Remember that commercial?
No.
Florana all fruit?
It's cut the mustard. Yes.
Whatever. Pass the cheese.
You are all over the place right now. Literally. Ping, 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 ping.
Anyway. What it came down to was that 1 barrel was chosen and bottled, and that was only available for the Bourbon Women attendees there at this year's symposium. So we bought a bottle, and here it stands. It's an 11-year, of course, maple charcoal filtered.
Right.
They
correct.
do the Lincoln County process down there, and
which is, as she said, the only difference between Tennessee whiskey and bourbon. Says Fawn Weaver.
We're not. Someday we will do that episode, but until then, we're not doing our official weighing in on what we think.
I didn't say anything. I just said what she said.
I know.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. This is 112.6 proof. And yes, I'm gonna pour it.
Put it there. Someone asked a bit ago, and I don't want to miss out on this too early in the show. Where can they get your shirt, Chad?
Oh,
they are liking your shirt.
This whole thing. I think it's a website called whiskyambitions.com. That's right. This is our shirt.
Brand new.
Yes.
Just went up today.
Brand new and limited edition.
Well, not necessarily.
It's limited currently.
Currently, we did one small run.
Yeah.
In the beginning, just to put some feelers out, to see how you guys think about it.
So if you want batch 1 of this, it's I don't know if you can do this awkward.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Or they can see lots of pictures of it on the site.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so.
Well, I don't know about you, but that smells like bourbon.
It does. Well, yeah. It's an interesting nose for sure. 112.6 proof, single barrel. 1% of their barrels meet these standards. 11 year. Here we go.
So I must have been wrong because I thought that I heard, like, when we got to the sip-posium and we did the keynote speaker, first thing in the morning, there was a tiny pour with our breakfast, and I thought that they said it was this. I don't think it was this.
No, it was not.
This is really rich, and honestly, we had the, it's the 1856 is the other one that we've done a review on. I wouldn't have even known, like, without seeing the label, that those were in the same family. This is like super.
It's on another level.
It's on another level.
You can go back and watch that episode. If I remember, I'll annotate it up here.
If he remembers.
From what I remember, we weren't. Our hair wasn't blown back by it, as the expression goes.
Yeah.
It was fine, but it definitely. I feel like when it's younger and it's lower proof, maybe the charcoal mellowing affects it more.
Maybe, yeah.
Because that flavor we just weren't completely latching onto, but this being a higher proof.
I'm getting like a kiss of that in here, but it's complementary to the proof and the age. I think like that level of maturation like really takes it on well, in my opinion.
Thank you, Perry, for the whiskeyambitions.com shout out. And someone is saying, I hope
He's
they have
got
it in XXL. Yes, we do.
We do.
Up to 4X.
Yes. We used to do extra small up to 4XL, but then no one ever orders the extra smalls, so
Right.
just small now.
Yeah, small.
Those are mostly for me, let's be real.
Yeah. And we're not trying to hide any magic here. Perry is actually just right over there.
He will be sitting.
So, Perry, if you want to grab a Glencairn and pour yourself some of this, we don't want to...
yeah, we can't just be like talking about it like, no, you can't have
Oh,
that.
it's so good.
I already had something else in the glass.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Share
can.
that with you. Again, Perry will be on later when we start talking about Bourbon on the Banks. So, Sarah, I want to talk a little bit about going to a Bourbon Women
Bourbon Women.
Bourbon Women event from a guy's perspective.
Please go ahead.
And you brought up an interesting point. Like when we normally go to bourbon festivals, I feel like it is more men than women.
Yes, the women that come are like, for the most part, this is not a blanket statement because I'm one of those people that I'm there for me, but I do feel like it's a lot of people who come and bring their wife. It's, companion travel, whatever. Yeah. And they're like, I'm into it, but I'll have a cocktail.
But then of course you said, but yeah, sometimes they're like even more so or equally, but yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like normally I'm the minority at a bourbon conference or a bourbon event. It feels okay, I guess. I know it, so
Sure.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me. But I never really thought about it before. But Chad was like, do you think that they think I'm here to ruin their fun? I was like, no, I think that they're having a good time no matter what you do.
I mean, there were some other guys there. I wasn't the only guy. And so, men can be bourbon women, can be a part or a member of the Bourbon Women organization as well. Which, since we saw Peggy No Stevens speak at the first New Orleans Bourbon Festival, that's when I signed up. And so, but let me tell you this. If you're a dude and you're thinking, do I want to go to something called a Bourbon Women? Don't let that affect you. If it would, and I'm not saying that it would, but if you're like, I don't feel like I would be, it's not for me. And again, I don't want to break up the fun and be like, who's the...
I think it just provides a really interesting perspective. And Peggy is like... She kills it all the time. Everything she does. Yes. And like the speakers are all excellent and it's just this really great vibe of everyone celebrating each other.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Pause on that. We do have some super chats.
Yeah.
Ian, that bourbon guy. Ian, thank you. Working the night shift and can't drink. Cheers to you.
Oh,
well, we're sorry.
we'll drink for you.
Yes.
Cheers to you.
And James Wolverton.
Saw James last night at Bourbon on the Banks.
Yep. He says, we love Peggy No Stevens. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Cheers.
Every time I meet her, I think I realize more and more how lucky I am to know her. She's just such a gem of a human. So much knowledge. Like, you literally... It's crazy. This is great.
That's good. It was like $115, I believe.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty penny.
It is, but
He was waiting for the credit cards to come in.
Whew.
but it is. It's doing it.
It's definitely my favorite thing that I've had by them.
This is bottle 104 of 98. That doesn't make any sense. Am I reading that right? They got extra bottles out of it somehow.
Well, maybe they've just numbered it 104198.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I would encourage you to check out the Bourbon Women organization because this thing was. It reminded me a lot of the New Orleans Bourbon Festival, where you go to like the seminars and so forth, and I had a great time. I think we both did. Jose, let's get ready to nutty.
I just heard that in the "Let's get ready to rumble."
Let's get ready to nutty. I have to pour
That's
myself some more.
What I heard.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Jose.
Jose. I sent you a Patreon message. If and when you are able to get to it, please check that out. So I think my favorite seminar was, I mean, they were all really excellent, but I really liked the one that, her name is Sam, and she works for Bardstown Bourbon Company, and she did a vintage session where we got to try the 69 Old Crow chess piece bourbon against Eagle Rare, which is of a comparable age statement, and mash bill, everything. So they're like
proof. The chess piece was 86. Of course, Eagle Rare is 90, but both 10 years.
right.
Yeah, comparable mash bill. And wow, that chess piece.
It's just crazy, like the differences in flavor that you can get for something that should be somewhat similar.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got to talk a lot about that. She talked a lot about like how to spot fakes and like forgeries in bottles, which is really interesting to me because it's something that no one talks about a lot. But she gave us a little crash course in like how to spot a fake, which was awesome. Highly recommend it. They gave us these cocktail kits. It's like how to make your own. It's called Pear Necessities. Yeah. So I think we'll be making one of those very soon.
It's not Perry's Necessities.
Pear Bear's Necessities.
Yeah.
It's a kit on how to keep your Perry alive.
It's the Pear Necessities.
No, it's these garnishes, and I don't believe you muddle these. These look like garnishes.
Muddler right here.
Some syrups. It's a sticky. That which
would
is
be the
probably,
alcohol.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like bitters or something. I thought you probably have to put your own alcohol in it.
Well, it might be.
I think that's it. We got to read the recipe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't read the directions.
That is pear syrup. That's what that is.
It's because I don't read directions.
No.
I'm making myself. I'll make it up.
So we will.
So each got one of these.
We were so generously invited to the media room where we got to talk with Amy from New Riff, and we got a bottle of New Riff each, which was delightful. And there goes Chad. Yeah, people counterfeit bottles of bourbons. It's relics, refills, and
replicas.
There was replicas. So they'll make fake labels, make fake everything from scratch. They said refills are the hardest because you're taking the original bottle and making it look like as if it were never opened.
Check this out.
How nice is this marketing, right?
Yeah.
Look at these little glasses.
They're doing it right.
Oh, and there's a little pin in here too. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
How adorable.
They're doing it right.
So
Each got one of those.
we got breakfast, we got lunch, we got 3 seminars, an excursion in the afternoon, which we departed early so that we could make it to Bourbon on the Banks.
But we left from Peerless.
Right.
That's where we were
Which was cool.
at the time. You can tell about the distillery cat.
Got to hang out with the distillery cat. Her name was Rye. She snuggled in my lap for a while. That was nice.
Of course, we got some Bourbon Women Glencairns. We've got so now we have a set of 2 of these. So you can go around and, hello, nice to meet you. Okay, we're done. Now I'm back to drinking. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
We first learned about those in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and people always ask us whenever we have them, like, where did you get that? It's genius.
The Beeline.
Oh, I forgot about the Beeline. It's a hangover kit.
Yeah.
So there's like, oddly, deodorant in there. There's like Advil, pretzels, a little baby bottle of water, a compact so you can make sure you're doing okay. There was like a hair tie so
Lip
that you can
balm.
get it together.
Yeah. So some of those things weren't aimed at me. Don't need the hair tie. But I tried to wear it as a headband.
But, okay. Yeah, Chad goes, this headband's really small. I was like, it's a hair tie, but it's cool.
That's fine.
Kilco said, sent a Facebook message about whiskey audiobook.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll check that out.
Yeah, we have a lot of different avenues to contact us. So
Yeah.
sometimes.
And let me go ahead and throw this out there. Please, over the next 3 to 4 weeks, be a little bit lenient. We're already running to keep up with all of our messages on all of our platforms. But
Yeah.
as we get closer to this thing called our wedding, please be a little bit more lenient with how much time it takes us
Yeah.
to get back to you, because we are doing all the things.
True. Jeff Winbush.
Yes. Did we get we didn't
We didn't cowbell cheers Kilco.
Kilco. To you.
Yeah.
And then Jeff, and that'll kill this pour for me. Oh, I gotta read it.
Yep.
That's part of the thing that we
part
do.
of the thing that that's,
He says, my son and I visited the new Riff Distillery a few weeks ago. It was a meh experience. It's a decent bourbon, but nothing exceptional. Have you had the single barrel?
single barrels.
Because I feel like
step up.
their single barrel project
Yeah.
is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The distillery is interesting.
Cheers to you, Jeff. Thank you much.
Because I think when people think about a distillery experience, they think Buffalo Trace. And I think that places like Bardstown Bourbon Company and New Riff are really changing what that means. You know, it feels more modern at some places. I think that they recognize that you can't fake that authentic grounds and buildings and everything that places like Buffalo Trace have. So where do you go with that? And I think what they're doing is cool. I mean, I would rather them be true to it, to like their brand and their style, versus try to make it feel old when it's not.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. And I haven't actually done the official tour there. Amy invited us to go up and do that. So I think we'll have to
be
check it
doing
out.
that.
So I can't comment
I think
on
we
the
wanna
value
do
of the tour.
Do the whole Beeline experience. They're adding now
love
second
the
site.
Beeline.
Second site's on
Yes.
there. We haven't been there.
So many,
Yeah.
so many good
I'm gonna
places
check
to
those
eat, so many good places to stay up there. And it's like this little known thing. You know, it's like on the trail, but not really. No.
So if you're not familiar, the Beeline is Northern Kentucky's like bourbon trail, basically. So it's the gateway from the north to bourbon country. So Northern Kentucky, like Covington area up there, it's right by Cincinnati. So that's where it is.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's wrap up talking about the symposium. Favorite part?
I gotta say, I think it was that vintage whiskey session. I really loved that.
Yeah.
Hearing Fawn Weaver speak was great, also.
Yeah.
But she didn't give me 1969 Old Forester.
She didn't give me whiskey.
Well, yeah, there was a taste, but
She
it
made
wasn't that.
available whiskey, which
That's
was
true,
awesome.
which was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite.
Not my favorite, because I'll probably have to agree with you, but just to mention something else, the lunch was really good because not just because it was a lunch, but Peggy
Not
and
just 'cause it was
Stevens
food.
curated a pairing. So there was 2 cocktails. They had a cocktail. It was called Not Your Pink Drink cocktail competition.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the amateur winner and the professional winner. So they had those 2 cocktails there, and then they had 3 bourbons that went along with your salad,
courses.
your main course, and then your dessert. And Peggy curated that. And whenever she does,
We
like, her
love it when she does.
balance, counterbalance, explosion.
It's always fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always good stuff. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
I guess in summary, I feel like it was worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back next year.
Because we bought tickets. We weren't there as media. We bought tickets to go experience this,
Yes.
and we feel satisfied.
Yeah, and we will be back next year.
We will. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stand up because I haven't stood up yet, and that means drink, of course.
Casey Schaefer says, where can you find more info about the Beeline? I
I
believe
think it's meetnky.com is one way to get to it, but I think it's probably also Beeline. Just Google Beeline.
Google Beeline.
B-dash line.
Yeah, the letter B dash line. I think we have, oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's it say?
Findyoursippingpoint.com.
That's it. It's none of the things we said.
None of the things.
Findyoursippingpoint.com.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Marketing. It works.
So you go and find your sipping point. All right. Skylar M. I think I got a little drag left here. And
I don't, oh, I almost popped you in the face.
Okay. we're gonna be doing some speaking of the Beeline, some Boone County.
Boone County is on the Beeline. And this is a Lion Share pick, and I absolutely love
Frickin' love
this
pick.
12-year bottle. Like, it's amazing.
This one's to Skylar. Thank you much.
Clifton.
Clifton.
Yep, says new Riff just made it to Southern California.
Oh.
The bourbon is one of my new favorites. Cheers.
Boom
See,
City.
I just really like their distillery because I think they did it right. People disagree, and that's totally fine. They sourced to make OKI, which is a great product,
MGP.
while they were aging their own stuff so that they could put out the most difficult category of bourbon to put out, bottled and bond. And when I taste it, I don't feel like it's young. Like, I feel like they're literally on the right track. When all these other places are popping up, like, they're doing it right. So
Yeah. Oh, hey.
But we say that a lot.
Let's do what's new before we move on to bourbon.
Okay.
It's not a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, I think it might just be this. Well, we got another Booker's 2018-04, I believe.
Did we?
Thanks to Swan.
Oh, yeah.
Swan the Bourbon Finder.
That's right.
But look, now the collection once again is complete. It's the Wild Turkey Master's Keep. This is the rye, 109 proof rye. It's their oldest rye that they've ever released. It's
crazy.
I think we're gonna have to uncork this one.
Yeah, it deserves its own uncorking.
But not right now.
Not right now. Brad Dixon says, exceptional mouthfeel and foliage and shit. Cheers. Cheers, Brad. You know us.
Cheers.
I appreciate that you pulled those quotes. Christopher Nelson appreciates our sick internet this week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Look at all these ones and zeros.
Like, apparently changing up all the things really helps.
We put in the work. I was with a technician here for like an hour and a half. He was roaming around, pulling wires, cutting fittings, putting new ones on, running tests.
Chubb's like, you're not leaving until
You fix
my
it.
internet works. Yeah.
Or puts a lotion on the skin, is what I said. Got a new router, all that stuff.
Creepy.
Yeah,
Cute.
kind of creepy.
All right.
All right.
Let's bring Pear
Let's
Bear
bring
in
Pear
here.
Bear in. I got to stand up, widen the camera. We're pulling another chair.
You know what that
I'm
means.
gonna scoot over.
We're going to adjust, shift. You stay put. Don't you go anywhere. All
Yeah.
266 of you.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I'll move to the middle, I suppose.
This is where it goes downhill.
Eric waits. I ask this question all the time. Why do so many producers use green labels for their rye? Just wondering. It's always like green text or green on the label somewhere. I have no idea. I've asked this question.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. We don't know.
What's funny about that too is I've been noticing recently, you might have noticed as well, Town Branch just rebranded their bourbon, and their bourbon label is actually green. And every time I look at it, I think they've come out with a rye.
Right?
And it really confuses me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hi,
everyone.
Someone said green makes me think mint. Yeah, I don't know why it's synonymous with rye, but I'm with you. I've been trained that green equals rye. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, it's a rye.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
You'll have to sub in on this cheers for Chad.
Sure. I guess.
Skylar says Game of Thrones Scotch worth buying. Great YouTube videos. Thank you for that compliment. Would you like some of this?
Sure, why not?
I know we got lots of things on the menu, so we're just
very
gonna
much.
give it just a little bit.
I brought a little bit of stuff.
I know you did.
I
I saw
typically
your
do.
little bag.
So.
Cheers, Skylar.
Cheers, Skylar.
I honestly cannot personally weigh in on the Game of Thrones Scotch. Well, I guess I can. We had some of it. Whisky Crusaders was kind enough to send us some samples, and we tried them, and Scotch just isn't our thing. So I can't say like that there was one that I was like, yeah.
Offending.
No, they were approachable, and he did a kind thing and like censored the options for us of like what he actually
Yes.
thought we would like, which we appreciate.
He curated them.
Now he's the person to ask. Ask Whisky Crusaders what he thinks, which one he would go for. So that's my recommendation on that.
There we go. Trying to get that boom shadow off your face there, Perry.
Oh, thank you.
Why
Is that
are
what that
you
was?
so tan? I'm so pale.
That's because I didn't apply enough sunscreen when I was in South Carolina
There you
about
go.
a month ago.
There you go.
And it resulted in
a-
the bronziness
a
that is
lovely
my skin right
bronze
now.
color.
But wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
This is a PSA for wearing sunscreen.
PSA for SPF.
I just hide from the sun now. I don't even like to
Yeah.
put sunscreen on. I'm just like, where are the shadows? I just creep around in those.
So Perry, what did you think of the Uncle Nearest, the single barrel?
You know what? First sip, it didn't quite hit me the way that you guys were kind of liking it. Towards the end, though, really, really started to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think that's easily my favorite bottle of Uncle Nearest that I've had, or barrel, or whatever you
For
want to call
sure.
it.
Yeah.
But
Brian Brinicke.
Brian,
Says, this Russell's I just poured is delicious. Oh, interesting.
That's our pick.
Best of luck with your final planning over the next 3 weeks. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Everybody.
That was so gentle.
And John says, Perry's hair is immaculate. Well, I mean,
now people
Thank
will get
you
us
for
confused, Sarah.
thank you for saying what all of us were thinking, right? Oh, I know.
Cheers and thank you.
Cheers and thank you. Yes, sorry. I'm being
Sorry
rude
for
and
all
not
of you
saying thank
headphones people. That was a little bit of a loud one.
All right,
James
so
agrees that the Warehouse Delicious is a great pick.
Yes.
Thank you. Still waiting on that new one.
you
It's
were
gonna
on
come
that
any
pick,
day.
right, James? Yeah, he was.
He
wasn't
was.
Yeah, he was.
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I think it was in our What's It Like to Go on a Barrel Pick video, which if you haven't seen that video, we have a video. I'm going to say video one more time.
Video.
That's about what's it like to go on a barrel pick, and it was like I think over 3 years of us, 3 years worth of
experience.
footage,
Yeah.
going to 5 different distilleries, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all kind of compiled, the pros and cons of each distillery and their single barrel program and so forth. So if you haven't seen it,
It's a fun episode.
go check it out.
Go check it out.
Go check it out.
All right.
Okay, so as this episode is titled, 2 bourbon events,
You help me
2
with this.
cities, 1 day, lots of stories. So after we left Peerless, after the distillery cat named Rye was in both of our laps for a while, we headed to Frankfort, so Louisville, Kentucky, to Frankfort, Kentucky,
About an hour.
for the first ever and annual Bourbon on the Banks. And this is unlike any other, bourbon festival that I'd been to before. It was outdoors. It was like a walking path. It was there on the banks of these booths that you could go to, food vendors, whiskey vendors, live bands set up here and there, and so forth. So it was really different, and the
was
weather
cool.
was perfect.
Could not have asked for better weather.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a different experience, and are we drinking on something new? Okay, good.
Well,
we are.
I'm drinking on the Boone County. Would you like a sip?
Sure. Yeah.
Please.
You know what's funny is I actually brought because I lean away from the mic, the new Boone County as well.
Oh, yeah, we just tried that
Yeah.
yesterday.
It it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I'm going to let you.
Yeah, sure. No. Well, I'm
it's-
going to let you all pour.
Thank you.
Yes.
Smart.
Yeah. Which is the new normal for me.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Oh, we didn't mean to shame you.
No. No shame. Just Perry pours.
sure. Yeah.
This is Wilderness Trail's new high rye bourbon, by the way. Still bottled and bond.
Here you go.
Christopher said Chad, Sarah, and Barry? It's Perry. Perry, for anyone
Hello.
who's not familiar, has a podcast called This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
Oh, yeah. I love how we're just like, hey, everyone already knows.
Hey, Perry's here.
Hey, Perry's here. It's Perry.
A lot of people do know.
Yeah.
Yes, a
you have
lot of people do.
plenty of
And-
new subscribers, though.
We do.
New
We should-
subscribers, people new to the live. Yeah, so this is Perry. He's been on before. We've been on his podcast.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit. So,
But we want you to be mindful.
Yes, be mindful.
Someone said-
Go check out his podcast.
Please.
Mac says, what kind of pour is that? Are you asking about my tiny pour? Because I'm just
It's
anticipating.
a non-Perry pour.
It's a non-Perry
If you're
pour.
not if you're not familiar,
Just a normal
If that's
pour.
what you're asking about, a Perry pour is about,
At least.
it can get up to the,
That is more, yeah.
So then you're like, oh, we have to drink how many more? 7? Oh,
It's basically just an over pour.
it's a large pour.
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes you want a Perry pour in your life.
Sometimes you do.
Like if it was some William LaRue Weller, I would be like, you can Perry pour that up for me.
All day. All day.
Okay, Christopher Nelson said, I know it's Perry, but what's his drunk name?
Oh, is it
'Cause we
Barry?
I don't know.
He doesn't want it.
It was
I think
funny.
I think it's Perry, like it's the French spelling or something. It's like,
Perry with an accent.
Yeah, with an umlaut.
Perret.
What is
Perry.
Umlaut?
Umlaut. Yeah, there you go.
But that's just an X.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Or those
It's
guys
good conversation,
from
you guys.
from Charlie and Chocolate Factory. No, Oompa Loompas. Sorry.
What's happening?
I have no idea. Justin Self says, I need to hear my cowbell. Another happy approaching wedding.
Ah,
Thank you.
thank you, Justin.
You go.
Cheers. Thank you for that super chat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be drinking on bourbon and ryes that were represented at the Bourbon on the Banks Festival, and just kind of giving our experience, because Perry and Swan were there, had a tent set up.
The Bourbon Finder, for those of you who don't know. Swan the
follow
Bourbon
on
Finder.
Instagram. We were offered a tent, but we were like, we won't be at that tent because we were going the entire length, and it took us the entire 3 hours
Just to
to
get
make
from
it
one
from
end
one end to the other.
with video. Then I'm like, can we have interns? I want some interns because they can stay here, talk to people, spread the word, sell some merch while we're out there working. Because I cannot be like, here, would you like to buy a t-shirt? I'm like, I got to make video.
I had my wife doing that.
Yeah, right?
Because I'd be chatting.
Who can I find?
Yeah, exactly.
Who can I find to peddle my things?
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Did you get to, I mean, I think I asked you this last night, but how much of the whole experience did you get to take in?
So there were 2 nights for vendors. The first night was on Friday night, and that was kind of more of a VIP thing where we were just able to go and kind of see what the layout was going to be like and just get to chat with some of the other folks there. But the second night, when everything was really, really set up, I was a little bit more locked into my tent. But there was a period where we didn't have people coming over to talk, excuse me, for the podcast. So Swan and I just went up and down and chatted with everybody.
Yeah.
It was such a different setup, like you were saying, for any bourbon festival that I had ever been to.
Yeah.
It was like Southern Whiskey Society and the Woodland Art Fair. It kind of put together, like just the
So before it scrolls off our screen here, so Greg T.S.
says he'll work for us.
I'll work
We
for
had
you
a
guys.
few
Nice.
other
Thank you.
offers for volunteers. We'll always take offers to be volunteers. You can email us at itsbourbonnight@gmail.com. If you're in the area and you want to be on that volunteer email list, which doesn't exist but could.
There you go.
We don't do a ton of events where we have those types of opportunities, but that doesn't mean we won't.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, sharing is caring. You guys are so sweet.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, and also we ran into people who watch our show, so we made some new friends that way. It was someone's birthday who came to Kentucky. So
From Amsterdam, which was cool. And they were like, we watch your show, and we just decided to come up into this neck of the woods. We're in Boston for the week, but we came down, and I was like, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Boston, Kentucky?
No.
Or Boston, Massachusetts?
Boston. Like, they came from
There's
Amsterdam
a Boston,
to go to Boston.
There's-
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's some warehouses.
I lived
there.
here my whole life, and I didn't know
Jim
that.
Beam's got, I think it's Jim Beam.
Huh.
He's got some stuff in Boston.
Don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Pretty sure it's Beam.
It was very cool.
yeah.
You got to see the Bourbon Pursuit. He was there
Yeah.
too.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny from Bourbon Pursuit.
What else? I mean, everything. There was so many.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I couldn't even name them all.
We got to try a lot of things we hadn't tried before, which is cool. So, you have your standards, right?
Right. And I was saying yesterday, I think for that person who came from Amsterdam, or so for someone who comes from anywhere else, like this event is super cool because if you only have 3 days in Kentucky, there's no way you could tour as many distilleries to taste as many things that you could do at this one event. Like in 3 hours, you could go from one end to the other and try the majority of the distilleries and talk to someone who can tell you more about that experience. And that's just really cool. Like,
But why not bring the distilleries to you?
right, they're bringing it to you so that you can walk from one tent to the next and experience all the different things that are out there, which is awesome.
If I remember correctly, I think that Wendy had said that there were 60 different whiskey tents or alcohol tents that were there.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things too is that it wasn't just bourbon, it wasn't just whiskey. There were also tents for wine. There were tents for gin, which I thought was kind of cool.
That was cool.
The clear spirits for those folks. If you came in from out of town, you got to stop at the Ale 8 booth, which is something that people don't know anything about. if
Sort of
they're
an
not from-
initiation,
but they
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's actually kind of a good way to put it, is that Bourbon on the Banks is a good initiation
Yeah.
for folks who...
We call it Kentucky Swamp Water.
Man, well,
That's
that's what
the
some
loving-
people
that's the-
call
but
it.
that's the loving name.
It makes it sound bad,
Yeah.
but it's very...
Oh, yeah, and Swan's saying we got a sweet Booker's box for Chad. Yeah, so the Jim Beam booth,
that did happen.
they were pouring
forgot about
2012
Bookers, but they weren't telling people.
Like it wasn't no thing, just like, beep. No big deal.
It's just like not something you're gonna find on the shelf anymore. So it's like, I do want that. Thank you. Here, take my tickets.
I mean, the box isn't even a stained box. It's like one of the lighter wood boxes.
Yeah.
They had some really good cocktails too. From Limestone Branch. They were doing that Yellowstone. It was like a blackberry smash with the ale.
Yeah.
I had 2.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it.
Oh, man.
No, I was literally finished it and was like standing there, and they were like, "Oh, is this your first one?" I was like, no, may I have more? No, it was delicious.
See you, Swan. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye,
Bye,
Swan.
Swanee.
And yeah, so your guys' tent was right next to Stephen Fonte.
Yes.
From
It
Limestone
was.
Branch.
So you get that entertainment.
Oh,
I will tell you.
man.
I have never heard the word effervescent said so much.
Oh, you
and
gotta
in
get
such-
that effervescence.
Effervescence.
You gotta get that effervescence with that ale
And in
I love
those
him.
dulcet tones. I mean, just
He needs a podcast.
he does.
I'm telling you what.
People would listen to him all the time.
He came over and sat down with us for a little bit.
Cool.
Oh, that's
too,
cool.
so
Lucky
That
you.
was
See,
nice.
that's the benefit to having the home base is that the
Yes.
people they come to you.
Yes.
Which is really cool. It's Bourbon Night Unpaid Intern T-shirt. Paul. All right. Well, we need something. I have a little sip. All right.
I got a skosh.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
So what about it? I like it.
I like it.
I like it better than their weeded bourbon.
I think I agree with you.
And not that the weeded bourbon is bad by any means. It was on my top 10 from 2018. I almost said 17.
I love it when they put info right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 64% corn, 24% rye, and 12% malted barley. It's a copper pot distilled, single fermented batch, sweet match process, and it's put in the barrel at 110 proof. Look at all that info. That's what we want.
We want to
Heck,
know.
We want everyone to give that info. Now, I don't think there's any type of... it's bottled and bond, so it's at least 4 years. Could be
Right.
older. That'd be nice if they said it's actually
With them
5,
being
but
newer,
whatever.
I mean,
It
you
probably
never
is
know.
right at 4.
You never know.
But, we were talking about New Riff earlier. I put these guys beside each other a lot in conversation.
Absolutely.
Because it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Absolutely.
New Riff,
Well,
these guys
There are examples
around
of
the
like,
same time.
yeah, they're coming out and they're doing what we were like. They're doing it right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We bucket them
Right?
together.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
We agree on that, right?
Right?
You,
Right?
you agree.
Right?
I would like something else, please.
Okay.
I'm just going to go off this conversation that was happening in the chat. Someone said to put hashtag will work for bourbon on a shirt. I kind of want to make a shirt that says will work for bourbon.
Yeah.
I also kind of want to make a shirt that says will work out for bourbon. Would anyone
you
wear
go.
that? Because that's how I feel when I'm in the
Tank
gym.
top?
I would.
I'm literally like,
I
this
would.
is only for the bourbon.
Or like earn your bourbon or something.
Right, something like that.
Doing it
Swan,
for the
Swan
burb.
posted something like that.
Doing it for the
So I
burn.
love like my handle. I'm like I want to make a will work for bourbon
We've
shirt.
got,
I wanna make it will work out.
We could open if and you want.
What you got down there?
I have this 15-year Whistle Pig.
Someone asked about the Whistle Pig booth, so now we
do
can
that.
talk about that.
Sure. I also have a Discovery series from.
I think we've. I
know
mean,
we have.
Yes.
I know,
Aw.
But I think we have
I know.
featured
Fine.
that enough. But if we get to it, we get to it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So this was gifted to me by the wonderful and handsome
There we go.
Nate from Whistle Pig.
No comment.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a handsome dude.
Whiskey Nate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Whiskey with a View.
Whiskey with a View.
That's his.
Yes.
That's his Instagram.
He ruined me for maple syrup.
Oh, right.
He was
Ooh.
like, "Do you want to try our maple syrup?" And I was like, "Sure." It's the best thing. One of the best things I've ever tasted. Like he was like, "It's gonna be a problem for you though." And I was like, "Why? It's so delicious. Like eyes roll back in your head, kind of delicious."
It legitimately was.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, it's because we don't sell it. It just we make it and we bring it for tastings and like we enjoy it, but like we don't sell it." And I was like, "You're robbing the world of this deliciousness." It was. If I could buy it, I would have bought it right there.
Yeah.
They would have had my money. So
Shut up and take my money.
just take it.
A little Philip J. Fry there for you.
It was
good.
great.
Hey, reminded me, want to tell you guys about this. Eric Waite is having a live stream over on his channel after we finish. So around the 9 o'clock hour, that's our time. Our time.
Eastern Standard
He will
Time.
be 6
It's
Pacific.
daylight.
Yeah.
What? Are we in daylight savings time?
Eastern. Oh,
Yes.
are we daylight or
We
not?
are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is it Eastern Daylight Time now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh Oh,
Whatever.
don't ask me that. Anyway,
You asked some things I don't know.
he's having William from Whisky Crusaders on, and they're going to be discussing wine and whiskey sommeliers.
Sommelier.
Sommelier on the chandelier. So go hop over there afterwards to his channel and check it out. Continue the whiskey fun over there on his channel.
Yes.
Whiskey Night.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the show called?
I mean,
So Whistle Pig.
Whistle Pig.
Whistle Pig.
92
Whistle Pig.
proof.
Yeah,
15
92
years
proof,
old.
estate oak rye, straight rye whiskey. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is 100 proof, or not 100 proof, 100% rye.
I believe.
Yeah, I think that's their whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I think
Finished
so.
in Vermont estate oak, but really barrels can be any type of oak, so I don't know.
Well, maybe that's just their thing.
Maybe they finish it in that, and maybe it's originally starts out in something else.
So it's double oaked.
I guess? I don't know. It's a
Technically.
little ambiguous. Finished in Vermont estate oak. Now, this is the part where the more informed people type something in the comments and let the host
Yes,
know.
there was another Trevor, so now there are two Trevors. One
could
that
be
said
only one.
he lives just 5 minutes from the distillery, so maybe he knows. Or he can go get that syrup. Go harass them for some syrup. Do it. Just be like, I saw it.
15
I was
year,
told.
92 proof.
That
Whistle
age really kind of mellows out the heavy rye
Yeah.
spice.
Absolutely.
Golf whiskey.
Hey, ordered the new t-shirt. He's talking about this one right here. What is the status of the challenge coins? They are being shipped.
We're
They-
just waiting for them to arrive.
Yeah,
They've been
we're-
ordered, processed, waiting.
Well, I don't know if they're physically in the mail yet, but that's the next step.
Yes.
We're just kind of
They
doing that.
We'll get here and we'll put them up on the site immediately.
And our patrons, they get to choose the number of because they're all numbered up to 500. Patrons get to choose their number and request that.
And I
before-
suppose everyone else won't get to because there will be no way for them to request. So I guess it'll just be if you want to choose your number, you got to be a patron. I don't know.
you could probably email us.
Then you get what you get.
That'd be a lot.
You get what you get.
We'll
I'm sorry. I'm
we'll
not
see.
committing to that. There's
We'll see.
500 coins. I don't want 500
yeah.
emails.
We'll see. We'll see.
Would love to one day, maybe.
Focus grouping right here.
Oh yeah. Phew.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is delicious.
So yeah. So
This
if
is
it's
very nice.
Alberta rye in the Whistle Pig, Andrew lives in the same city as a distillery, which is Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Cool.
So I think that the proof is really working well for what they're doing with the percentage of
I
rye
agree.
because you get all that rye flavor and spice, but I feel like if this were 110 proof, it would be so hot, you know?
It would be hot, and I feel like because there is definitely a mint,
Yeah.
a winter mint note that is kind of lingering.
I think it would be overwhelming.
It would absolutely be. Have you guys ever had Redemption Rye?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the 7-year that they did, Iverson gifted me a bottle.
Oh.
I had it for the first time the other night. I could not finish it because of how
Winter mint?
winter minty it
Sure.
was. I mean, it was like you poured toothpaste into
I was
your
about to
whiskey.
say,
Yeah.
sometimes like when it's almost like when you have toothpaste and the toothpaste is so minty that it's hot.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And sometimes I get that with rye.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying to someone actually yesterday, one of the vendors, I can't remember who it was, but they had a rye and that was doing it right. And I was telling them for my personal palate, if it is a higher proof, if it's a higher proof, high rye, so like 95%, 100% rye. I think wherever I was, it was 90. He told me it's 90% rye. It needs to be either older to not get that just,
Yeah.
or lower proof. So if it's going to be a high proof rye, it really needs to be older. So I feel like if this was turned up, I don't think it would be that what you're talking about, just winter mint in your face, just high rye in your face. I think the age
You
cuts,
think the
cuts
age will
down
help?
on that.
You think
if
that
it's a
the-
younger
okay.
rye,
Okay.
I
can
think
see that.
you need to go lower
need to-
proof. If you go higher proof, you're just going to get smashed in the face with it.
I
For
think that this is
me personally.
for 92 though. I'm still getting a ton of heat on this, and it's
I am as
from
well.
the rye.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect proof for this. Like
I think it is,
it's
too.
sitting on the back of my tongue. I get that tingle
Yeah.
from the rye, not from the heat. I do get like a little Kentucky hug, but it's great.
Canadian hug.
A Canadian hug.
If you chew it more of the
It's a very
spice
polite
comes
hug.
through.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a side hug.
oh, sorry, I'm just gonna come in and hug you there, eh?
Hey, sorry I bumped
Oh,
you.
sorry, so sorry.
Oh,
Sorry about
didn't
that.
see you there.
Sorry about that.
Sorry
hug.
for all
Care
of
for a
the
donut?
Sorry about all our
Canadians
Canadians who are
watching
watching.
us. They're like unsubscribed.
I'm sure
We
you're
can
Not
do,
funny.
We can do Canadian accents way
I'm sure
better
you
than
can do
Australian.
I'm sure you can.
That's true. That's true.
It's okay. I'm sure you all can do a great Kentucky accent.
Well, howdy, darling. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
not us. Them. Never mind.
Them. Well, I mean, I'm sure you can. We
Yeah,
probably should be able to.
We can do Kentucky accents.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Oh well. It's fine.
Oh, so sorry. No, this is really good. This is. Ooh, it does warm me up. Man.
It warms you, right? It's that
But
right.
instead of like, I feel like the Kentucky hug is more centralized to here. This is more like a.
It does. It
It's
spreads
like-
out. It's almost a little bit lower too. I get
Yeah.
it like here.
Yeah.
I was going to
Versus,
say,
like-
Show me on the doll where the Kentucky hug is.
it's the second time that I've been on recently that joke's been made, so it's
There
pretty
you go.
funny.
That's always good, right? Whiskey
Yeah.
Crusaders, do you have any of the Black Prince left that I sent you? We
Yes.
do. We're saving that.
Yes.
Also, I ordered 3 shirts since my wife keeps stealing them because they're soft, right?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Congrats on the upcoming wedding. Can't wait to see you guys in Austin this year. We can't wait to be there in
Same.
Austin this year. He was saying earlier that there's going to be 20 channels there this year.
Wow.
What? What?
Dang.
That's
Wait,
insane.
seriously?
That's what he said before.
That's a lot.
Correct me if I misread that, Matt, but I'm pretty sure that,
Wow.
I saw
I'd
a
heard
scrolling
that.
comment of where you said 20 channels would be there this year, which is amazing because, one, we get to hang out with all the people who watch and, like, meet new people who will watch and
definitely.
just hang out with people who love whiskey. But, two, we get to collaborate with each other, and like,
and
that
make new
never
friends.
happens.
Because the first year we went, we became like we were
20.
already good friends with Scotch Test Dummies because we'd done their live and so forth. First time we met them,
I
in
can't wait to
person.
see them.
And I think we'd done Bill's, the whiskey dictionaries. I feel like we'd done his live too. But the first time we really had interaction with Roy Aquavite.
And how else would we have met him, right?
Right.
Because he's in Scotland.
He's in Scotland. So now, Scotch Test Dummies and the Whiskey Dick and Aquavite, they're like, 3 channels that we consider like our friends, and now it's like a reunion.
Yeah.
But now we're going to come back from this experience in Texas with all these new friends.
He said over 20.
Over 20.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's insane. That's insane.
Good for everybody that's showing that.
I'm like,
Wow.
It's very cool.
it's literally like a whirlwind weekend. It's so much fun, but it is like, what's the word? Just stimulation from every direction of like
Simulation? Or
stimulation, like
Overstimulation?
whiskey and people and meeting new people
Yeah.
and filming and this. It's crazy. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what being on like
And-
crazy drugs feels like, but I feel like it must be something like that.
And
where
Rex
you're like,
and-
what just happened?
And Rex and Daniel, 2 big, awesome personalities doing their thing, and it's plus Texas, and we were there in August, so Texas heat in August, we were like, we're melting.
Right. Looking forward to going back in October when hopefully it's not so hot. It was
Yeah.
110 something last time. Yeah. No. And I also got a nice pour from Daniel last time. He blessed me with the Johnny Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah,
And
that
I
was a special time.
So I'm really looking forward to what kind of treats I get this year.
That experience is in our video where we recap the Crowded Barrel Distillery opening. Go check out that video if you haven't
I
already.
just watched that again the other day, Chad, and I forgot how entertaining it was.
Yeah. Travis, someone read that?
He said, I got to do a barrel pick with Nate last month. Great guide. No cowbell cheers needed. Just wanted to treat y'all.
Hey, Perry.
Hi, Travis.
Perry.
All right. No cheers, but thank you, Travis.
But a cheers, just not a cowbell one.
He's like, please don't make that noise.
He's paying you to not
Right?
To not.
get the cowbell out.
Good stuff.
Where do we want to go?
Well,
know.
we got some Pogue.
Ooh, I kind of want some Pogue. Let's
yeah. Do some
bring
Pogue.
the Pogue.
Bring the Pogue.
Brought to you by Todd Cooper,
Dad Cooper.
a patron. He takes good care of us.
I'll let y'all go first.
Oh, I thought you were just holding
Oh,
it for
no.
them to see.
Something else.
What else?
Going back to the Bourbon Women Sip-osium
Oh, I think I know what you're about to say.
experience. Yeah, you do. So they had a silent auction there, and a percentage of those proceeds, I'm not going to be able to
The
remember.
Family Scholar House, I
Thank
think.
you. Family Scholar House. So helping out families in need.
Yes.
So good cause, of course. We wanted to thank you,
Mm-hmm.
support that. So I bid on a few things. I got outbid and threw in the towel, but one, I won. We won.
We
I was
What's
the one
yours
who
is
was
mine.
like, I was the one, I'm bidding. But it's a private tasting for 4 at Justin's House of Bourbon here in Lexington. So we've won one of these before at a Lexington Bourbon Society event, another silent auction. So this is our second time. This is why I was like, I know how awesome this is. I am bidding until I get this. So I was like, it was like 2 minutes ago I was sniping. I was like,
He was like,
got it. Then I was boxing people
were
out. I was
that
boxing
guy.
people out. I was
no,
like,
he didn't. We were like, we're going to put this down and we'll see what happens. Like, if someone wants to really go into battle, like, we'll talk.
yeah.
Is that a monkey over there?
Oh, look. Fire.
Let's split it.
So we won that, and so that will be going. We'll be offering for a complimentary tasting there to our top patrons. So just another reason to be a patron. Just saying. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. What was it last time we got something from? Was it? It was
Oh, it was
pre-prohibition.
Prohibition. Yeah.
Pre-prohibition. It was like 1915 or something like that.
He had to run it through a sieve because the cork, of course, deteriorated, and there was some cork in there. So he was running it through.
But it was so dark.
A sieve.
Was it the most delicious thing I've ever tried? No. But it was like drinking history.
Was it the most unique thing we've ever tried?
It was probably the most unique thing I've ever tried.
It was so dark, and I think it was only like 86 proof.
It was really interesting.
Was it one of those, like, you know how older whiskeys from the early 1900s, they were always aged like 15 years?
Yeah, it was pretty dang old.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I'm sure it
Do
was.
you think... I get like... I could touch a grape. And
Yeah,
it's weird.
I said that
I
last
could
time.
see
You said
about
grape?
that.
I could see
I
that.
did.
Okay,
I
yeah.
did. Totally. Well,
I love it when I get fun things like grape.
is Todd Koopa in the chat? I don't know if I've
I
seen
haven't
him.
seen him.
thought he was.
He's probably working.
Yeah,
He's
probably.
probably
so.
out there making that money.
That's cool. I was gonna ask him if he had picked that up. He brought us this bottle to your birthday. in
He
Keeneland-
did.
Keeneland
We
last
did.
year.
Yeah, it's been almost a whole year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could have done that tailgate again this year. Unfortunately, with the wedding stuff, it was too close. We couldn't do it. But we are doing that mini meetup, which we're pretty much almost sold out for. Just waiting to confirm a few more spots. So if you're on the waiting list, don't despair. There may still be a chance yet. But yeah, maybe in the spring we'll do another tailgate. I would love to do another tailgate.
I don't want to be a broken record, but another advantage of being a patron.
Chad, didn't you just say that?
I did. It's just, you know. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of Bourbon on the Banks? We didn't ask you. We're just over here doing our own thing.
No, it's fine. I'm happy to just be here.
He's got a drink,
Just
so
happy
he's
to be
like,
here, Clark. Just happy to be
So
here.
my experience with Bourbon on the Banks was a little bit different than everybody else's, solely because I was pretty much working the entire time. I was doing the podcast. I would say probably about 90% of the time that I was there.
I can attest to that. I saw it.
I think, honestly, and it's a weird kind of cop-out answer, but just seeing how this overall experience is coming together and just feeling all the hard work coming to fruition, especially knowing the folks who were putting it on. You know, they'd been on the podcast before. You guys did a live with them.
We did.
A couple months ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wendy and Matt.
Yeah, just knowing the extent to which they went to make something so unique happen, and it happened
Sure.
very, very successfully. I would say.
Yeah.
I agree.
No,
You
it's
know,
great.
I don't.
Like
think
I would
they
have
were really
minor
into us.
suggestions for next year.
I think
But,
so.
but not
That's-
like overall event success and flow. Excellent. Like,
Yeah.
but it's just like your first year, you're always going to learn something new. So it's like
Oh, yeah.
I have things that it wasn't like anything that I was like, oh, everything was great except this.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
everything was great. If you would like me to tell you ideas for next year, like I totally could.
Yeah.
Sure, like
But
the
yeah.
suggestion box.
Right.
And, you know, we experienced that with the New Orleans Bourbon Festival. We've been there all 3 years that they've had so far. From the first year to the second year, like, things improved and where we thought it, you know,
We didn't think it could get any better.
Then it gets better every year. So it's just tightening of the screws, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So next year, if you weren't able to make it to this year, I think next year would be the perfect time to make your first excursion, because they'll just make it even
And
better.
I think the tickets were very reasonably priced.
Oh,
They were.
yes.
For the access
Ooh,
that you got to people.
yes,
We had
they
so
were.
many great conversations, made so many great connections,
What
tried
was it,
things.
$60?
65.
Yeah,
$65.
$65. But I mean, yes, they limit it to a certain number of hours. But you get to try so many things and just talk to. We met so many people. It's a networking event too.
That's the other thing about it too, is that not only was I getting the chance to meet new people, but there were so many other people that I knew from other events that I got to reconnect with.
Yeah,
totally.
That it just was so nice to, have an opportunity to come back together and everything. Do you need this?
Yes,
I do
yes,
need
we
that.
That reaction was to Jerry Sis.
Sorry,
Super chat there. He says sent info about Newport, Kentucky. We've only scratched the surface about Newport. Sorry, the laptop's far from me. Great city. Yeah,
Yes.
Agreed, Jerry. Thank you so much.
I guess I could have read that for you, Jim.
You know
all right.
what I love in Newport is
I'm
actually
gonna also cowbell you.
and maybe Jerry, you tell me if this is if this is a tourist trap or a locals thing. But I think Pompilio's is cool, mostly because they shot that scene from Rain Man there. But I've had the food there, and it's pretty good Italian in my opinion. But you tell me. I'm sure there's a lot more to discover about Newport and Covington and the surrounding area, and that's all beeline.
I really like Main Strasse
Main
because
Strasse
you've
and
got
Covington.
OKBB, you've got
Goodfellas and Wise Guys.
Wise Guys Lounge
Bourbon
right there.
Haas.
Bourbon Haas 1840. Why do they have to have dates in their name?
That great
I don't know. Bourbon
Frida's
Haas.
is a great
Frida's, amazing Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
Their Brussels sprouts somehow are just like crazy good.
You can literally just hang out on that strip and eat. Oh, Bouquet.
Bouquet.
What's the other one? Otto's.
Otto's.
Yeah, they're all great. It's great.
You know what the key to good Brussels sprouts is?
A lot of sugar.
Bacon grease?
Bacon grease.
Yes.
You cook it with the bacon.
You make the
at
Brussels
same
sprouts
time.
taste like bacon. That's the
Right.
secret.
Yeah.
There's a vegetable in there somewhere, so it counts,
Somewhere.
right?
Yeah.
Or
you
other
know
types,
it.
like some type of Italian ham,
Yeah.
Italian meat.
But it's really cool, especially this time of year where it's good weather.
They do the twinkly lights at night. It's
Get to
very romantic.
Walk down
wonderful.
Main Strasse.
wonderful.
It's of course a German type of community there. Really cool. Really cool.
If you're not far from the area, it's actually a great date night spot or like a little mini one night getaway just to go up. The hotels around Covington are pretty affordable versus like if you go across to Cincinnati. I mean, I still think that they can be, but you can have, just that little nice date night on the Main Strasse experience. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
Yeah.
And also Party Source.
Party
yeah.
Source.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Right by New Riff.
Right by New Riff. They have the best stuff.
It's basically
we love
in the parking lot.
J.O. that works there is awesome.
Yeah.
We love.
Yeah.
If you're ever in there and you ask for J.O. and he's there, he will not steer you wrong. I can promise it.
And they have a tasting bar in there.
So this is a commercial for Covington, Kentucky.
I guess.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by
Visit Covington.
Meet MKY. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't believe you finished telling us your favorite part.
You
You were saying like the
kinda
favorite
did.
people.
I did. It was
Yeah.
really just,
Yeah.
The overall experience sounds like a cop-out of an answer, but I mean, really, I know that I'm going to be looking back at this in the next few days, over the next week, on down, and just remember the great conversations that I got to have with people. I'll be really honest with you, and I'm not trying to plug the podcast too much, but some of the best podcast conversations.
But go
that-
listen to This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
Do it.
Anywhere you can find podcasts.
Yeah, please. But really, some of the best conversations that I have had on the podcast came out of this weekend.
There you go.
So
Well, there's something to be said about sitting outside and sipping whiskey. It's just a little bit different
Absolutely.
experience. It really
Absolutely.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really the entire atmosphere of it being right on the Kentucky River. I mean,
Yeah.
that was so cool.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Well, we don't want to go into extra innings this time, just because one, it's a school night. We got to work tomorrow, and also you guys should go over and check out Eric Waite's channel to keep the whiskey fun a rolling live stream wise. So we want to thank Perry for sitting in. This is My Bourbon Podcast.
thank you guys so much for letting me.
Thank
sit
you,
down.
Perry.
Absolutely. The new Bourbon, America's
Only native spirit.
only native spirit, is available now on whiskeyambitions.com. That'll do us.
We got some orders to fill. We're going to go do that.
We got some orders filled too, so that's why. Yeah. But thanks so much, guys. And until next time, drink more bourbon.